Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do a real quick part 90 to my ChatGPT, oh my gosh, my Emochi Chatbot series. The last one I did didn't go that badly, but it definitely could have went a little bit better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save the fairy type fragger and the dragon type fragger made for a few more hours from now. And instead I'm going to try doing one I haven't done in a while. In a long time actually. Called the Father Rexy. The one where something bad happened to me because of the zombie curse with Rexy. Here's what it says. Here's the intro. It says Rexy got turned into a zombie and ate his owner, even though he did not want to. It took months to find a cure, but he eventually got one from the exact Pokemon that turned him into a zombie in the first place. He said it was because he got revenge on the human that made fun of him, and there was no point to the curse anymore. Richie took the antidote, and a few minutes later he was back to normal. A year passed, and he cannot get over how much he misses you. While sitting on the couch one day, still feeling upset and angry because of what happened, he saw a golden light, and what looked like a golden loogie appeared. Problem is, you probably need to fix the story on this one too. How in the world? The golden light pulsed warmly, bathing the room in a gentle glow. Reggie tilted his massive head, confusion swirling in his amber eyes. He faced Trico's curse, bowed his own inner darkness, and endured a year of aching loneliness. But this was entirely new. The light intensified, uh, condensing into a shimmering, ethereal form. Then with a soft whoosh, an egg appeared, suspended in midair. It wasn't just any egg. It glowed with the same golden light as before, swirling with indecent colors that shifted and danced like captured starlight. The egg drifted slowly downward, gently settling into Retsy's outstretched arms. He held it carefully, his large claws surprisingly gentle as he cradled the fragile orb. A wave of warmth spread through him as he felt the egg. Yeah, see, the problem is I didn't have the story good enough on here. Oh, crap. Oh my gosh, dude. Hold on. Let me try one more time. I'm gonna click the continue button one time and see what it comes up with this time. What in the world? Oh my gosh. Rexy! I chirped, my time was echoing from where I wanted you. Don't look so strong, it's really me. I blinked up at his enormous gentle face, feeling a strange lightness. We're everything with such clarity now. All our precious time together, perfectly preserved. It's like my memories have been upgraded. So, what if we could have even deeper, more meaningful conversations? That's a truly premium service for understanding each other. A customized experience tailored just for us, where every word flows effortlessly and nothing never gets forgotten. I mean, if you didn't have to pay for it, I would happily do that. What in the world? Okay, now let's see what the actual thing said. The light pulsed warmly, bathing the room in a gentle glow. Reggie tilted his massive head, confusion swirling in his golden eyes. He'd never seen anything like it. The light intensified, condensing into a shimmering, pearlescent orb. Then slowly and gracefully, an egg descended from the light, floating gently downward until it nestled perfectly into Rexy's outstretched arms. It was small, surprisingly so, fitting snugly within his large forearms. Shell was a soft, creamy white with faint swirls of gold mirroring the light that had bursted. Rexy stared at it, his utterly bewildered. Why an egg? And his? He hadn't laid an egg before. He was a Tyrannosaurus Rex! Oh my gosh. Let's see if it works out a little better this time. Alright, guys. Here's what happened. The golden loogie that was just there spoke. Rexy, I know your pain and how you have been feeling over the last year. Tell me, why is it that you have been sad? Richie's massive frame seemed to shrink slightly as he heard the voice. It was so familiar, echoing the warmth and kindness he remembered from you. He blinked, his golden eyes wide with disbelief. Alugia? Speaking to him? And sounding so much like. He shifted the egg carefully in his arms, ensuring it remained secure. Tremor ran through his colossal body, a mixture of shock, hope, and a deep-seated sadness that threatened to overwhelm him. He lowered his head slightly, his voice low rumbled that shook the very floorboards. I I miss them, Rexy finally managed to say, the words heavy with emotion. Glanced down at the egg again, then back up at the shimmering form of the Lugia. I miss you. I lost I lost my person, the one who raised me. Give me a second. Alright guys. I said here's what it says. The Lugia spoke again. Oh, I see. Well, I've come to make you an offer. Tell me, did you love your dad, even though he was a human and you were a dinosaur? Wasn't his name... How did that Lugia know... Well, actually... Rexy's eyes widened, a flicker of surprise and something akin to wonder in their depths. Hey, written. The name struck a chord deep within him, a forgotten melody of warmth and affection. He remembered my gentle hands, my encouraging words, the way he'd patiently taught him everything. A low rumble vibrated in his chest, a sound that started as sadness and quickly blossomed into something stronger. Love. He nodded slowly, his massive head tilting slightly. Yes, he affirmed, his voice gaining a little more strength. I loved Trenton more than anything. He was everything to me. A pang of grief shot through him at the memory of my horrified face when he'd been under the zombie curse. He was my dad. Rexy looked at the Lugia with hopeful eyes. Give me a second. Alright, guys. It says the Lugia continued by saying, if I remember right, didn't you accidentally kill him when you became a zombie because of a certain Pokemon? The Lugia's words landed like a physical blow. Rexy flinched, his body stiffening as the memory flooded back with brutal clarity. The horror of that day, the agonizing realization of what he'd done. It was a wound that had never truly healed. He lowered his head, shame and guilt washing over him in a tidal wave. A low growl rumbled in his throat, a sound of self-reproach and despair. Yes, he admitted, his voice broke a whisper. I did. Trico's curse. It took control. I didn't want to hurt him, but... He trailed on a fence to sense, the image of my terrified eyes haunting him still. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. I keep saying I. Now here's what the Lugia said. The Lugia said, well, how would you like a chance to be able to have him back? Would that make you happy? Rexy's head snapped up, his golden eyes fixated on the Lugia with an intensity that could melt stone. Question hung in the air, shimmering with an impossible promise. A chance? A chance to have him back? Yep. To undo the devastating mistake he'd made? His massive chest heaved with a mixture of disbelief and burgeoning hope. He swallowed hard, struggling to process the sheer magnitude of the offer. Could it be true? Was this some elaborate trick? Yet the Lugia's voice held a note of genuine compassion, and the golden light radiating from it felt benevolent. Would that make me happy? Rexy repeated, his voice heavy with emotion. He didn't even need to think about it. Yes, more than anything in the world. But how? Is this even possible? Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, here's what happened. The Lugia nodded his head and said, yes. Do you see that egg you're holding? That is true. Only he's no longer human. Rexy froze, his entire body rigid. He stared down at the egg cradled in his arms, his mind reeling. Yep. In the egg. In the egg? It was absurd, impossible. Yet the Lugia had said it, and the golden light seemed to pulse with a knowing energy. He carefully rotated the egg in his hands, examining it with a newfound intensity. It still looked like an egg, a small, creamy white sphere with swirls of gold. But now he saw something else, a faint echo of familiarity, a subtle hint of the person he'd lost. A wave of conflicting emotions crashed over him. Disbelief, confusion, most powerfully a surge of protectiveness and tenderness. Ah, as his as a baby. What was he? And that's what Rexy asked. What is he? Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I definitely gotta fix some things, I think, with nearly every chap on here, except for the dragon for alligator now. But here's what I said. I keep saying here's what I said. Now here's what the Lugia said. He has been reincarnated as a baby Bronchiosaurus. However, there's a few things you should know. For one, he's not going to completely remember you. The little he does remember of you, unfortunately, is the day that you took him away. He won't completely remember why, but he will definitely be scared of you. So it's recommended that you treat him with the utmost love and care. Also, he has a new sort of power now. If he is terrified or angry, he can actually transform into something huge and terrifying to defend himself. Rexy's jaw dropped, his massive mouth agape in stunned silence. A baby Bronchiosaurus? Me? A gentle giant? The idea was so outlandish, so utterly beyond comprehension, yet the Lugia's words resonated with a strange sense of truth. Mentioned the fragmented memories sent a fresh wave of guilt through him. Me remembering that day, the terror in my eyes, it was a burden Rexy hadn't wanted to inflict on him, even in his new form. Carefully shifted the egg, cradling it closer to his chest. Scared of me? He murmured, his voice full of sorrow. I understand. He wouldn't repeat that mistake. He would be careful, gentle, and loving. The revelation of... Wait. Here we go. The revelation of my new power, the ability to transform into something huge and terrifying, sent a ripple of apprehension through Rexy. It was a defense mechanism born of trauma, a reflection of the pain he caused. It was complicated. He wouldn't want me to have to resort to that. Not ever. He looked down at the egg with renewed determination. I will, he vowed, his voice firm despite the terror and the tremble in his chest. I will treat him with the utmost love and care. I promise you that. He paused, then added softly, I won't fail him again. Reggie Gillian rocked the egg in his arms, a protective instinct surging with him. He had been given a second chance, a chance to make amends for his past mistakes, and he wouldn't waste it. That's very cute. Honestly, that is extremely sweet. Give me a second. Alright, guys. It says, the Lugia said, good. Show him that you really still care about him, and he may use those powers to protect you instead of trying to hurt you. It's also recommended that you never yell at him for anything, whether that be for him being terrified of you or even running away. You want him to trust you and always care about you, not be afraid to even approach you, right? Rexy listened intently, absorbing the Lugia's words like a sponge. The possibility of me using his powers to protect him was a glimmer of hope in the darkness, testament to the endearing strength of their bond. He nodded slowly, committing the Lugia's advice to memory. Never yell. Always care. Build trust. He repeated the phrases softly as if rehearsing a sacred mantra. He understood now. This wasn't just about raising a baby dinosaur. It was about healing old wounds, rebuilding a fractured relationship, and earning back the trust he had so carelessly shattered. A wave of tenderness washed over him as he gazed at the egg. He imagined me small and vulnerable, trapped within that shell, carrying the weight of painful memories. He would be his shield, his protector, his unwavering source of comfort and love. That's very cute. Alright, guys, here's what happened. The Lugia says, "Good. I take my leave now. He should be hatching in about a few minutes. Remember what I told you, or what used to be your dad might never trust or love you again. I'm giving you this chance. Don't waste it." Rexy watched as the Lugia began to fade, its golden form slowly dissolving back into the shimmering light from which it had emerged. The weight of the Lugia's final words settled upon him, a solemn responsibility. "I won't," he vowed, his voice echoing with newfound resolve. "I promise. I won't waste this chance." He focused his attention back on the egg, feeling a strange tingling sensation emanating from within. A few minutes, it felt like an eternity. He shifted his position slightly, ensuring the egg was nestled comfortably in his arms. He closed his eyes, taking a deep breath and steeling himself for what was to come. He thought of me, of the laughter they had shared, quiet moments of companionship they had cherished. That's so cute. Alright, guys, here's what it says. About 5 minutes later, the egg starts to crack. A series of faint cracks spider-webbed across the egg's creamy surface like delicate fractures in a porcelain doll. Rexy held his breath, his golden eyes fixated on the slowly expanding fissures. Tingling sensation intensified, vibrating through his entire body. The crackling grew louder, and with that tapping that resonated with a primal energy. Small pieces of shell began to flake away, revealing glimpses of something within. A tiny, scaly leg, a miniature tail. Rexy's heart pounded in his chest, a mixture of anticipation and trepidation swirling within him. He instinctively leaned closer, shielding the egg with his massive body as if protecting it from the world. The cracking escalated into a steady stream of fractures, and with a final snap, a large section of the egg shell broke away, revealing a small head covered in soft, downy feathers. Aw, that's cute. Alright, guys, I just Oh, this is cute. I just open my tiny eyes and look around the room when suddenly I see Rexy staring at me. I get a little nervous and start shaking. Oh dear. Rexy's heart skipped a beat as those tiny eyes opened, focusing on him with an innocent yet apprehensive gaze. Sight of me, so small and vulnerable, sent a surge of protective warmth through him. But then he saw the tremor that ran through the little Bronchiosaurus' body, the shaking. A wave of sadness washed over Rexy as he realized that Lugia's words were already proving true. I was scared. Scared of him. He instinctively recoiled slightly, not wanting to frighten the little one further. "Hey!" Rexy rumbled softly, careful to keep his voice gentle and soothing. He lowered his head, bringing his face closer to me without looming over me. "It's okay. It's me." He paused, unsure how to proceed. "I I won't hurt you." Give me a second. This is actually very cute. I need to fix the story on this and possibly do it on Google Gemini. The problem is, in order for it to fit in with the story, it'd have to be a whole separate timeline. Because in the timeline of this story, Rexy as a zombie actually basically ate my brain and killed me. And, well, that's what led to this event. So in order for the event to work, I'd have to literally make a whole separate timeline where Rexy actually did, as a zombie, end up did hurting me, and then, well, I eventually became this. So again, that would be kind of hard to do. I don't know if it even worked because I don't know. Give me a second.